Oh, let me switch my headphones real quick. Alright, how is that? There we go. Let's put back in there. Okay, so got a lot of crops to harvest here. Carrots and beetroot seeds. Yeah, we'll do. We don't need any more. We don't need any wheat right now. Should be enough wheat seeds. More stacks of baked potatoes. Okay, so yeah, we still need this all needs to spread to grass still. But now I'm kind of wondering if we should put some light in the walls instead of these lanterns here. Or maybe instead we do just like a row of lanterns. So we put I think a row of lanterns might just look a little better. Maybe darker. Some sticks. Actually, you know, let's make some copper barbs instead, because we could just wait for these to oxidize. These are kind of green. Oh, okay. We got some grass. Wait, that was our way out. Well, whatever. For now. We'll have to wait for all this to turn green before we can really get an accurate feel for how. Come on. we'll see. Yeah, we just gotta wait for that. So I think for now we'll wait on placing the. Well, no, actually, we're gonna be making the enchanted room, so I have silk touch ready very soon here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Together we vanquish the zombie. I guess, yeah, we don't even have to. I thought we'd have to remove the block to make the campfire exposed, but I guess as long as some smoke particles are hitting it. Not anything dangerous. I think this looks pretty good. Hopefully, once the grass and oxidation and everything like that spread, we'll see how it all ends up looking. But as of now, it's looking really nice. Ooh, I'm gonna sneeze. Ugh. All right, so now we've got. Let's get some oak. So here, how far can we go before we hit this wall? We cannot not go very far at all. But oh, I'm gonna do it like that. Well, I did say that we were gonna go down here, but I think it's like just too advanced for my building capabilities. Not exactly, but just being facetious. Okay, so now we got a little bit of a turn here, and now here we can start going downwards. Actually, I'm not even gonna do that. We're gonna keep this going straight, and it will start going down here, but we're also gonna cut this room out like this. Make this part of the enchantment room. We can punch this one out here. Do something fun here. So we got a 2x2, and we can't do very much with it because this is got some shelves. Let me actually put something on these shelves. Like maybe our first 2 diamonds. oak. Wait, I can put 51 stacks in there? Wait, what? Huh. That's cool. I did not know that. Yeah, that's probably gonna change, but you gotta experiment with the shells first. So maybe our first 2 lines shouldn't go there. I don't know. Oh, somebody opening the door. Let's see here. Yeah, let's put our 2 original diamonds back here. I was thinking maybe we take our wooden tools and put them in, but I don't even think we don't have too many wooden tools. animation is coming along very slowly. What put there? Well, maybe we just leave them there for now. We'll just figure something out. When we find something fun. If we ever get something kind of like fun. Yeah, there's just nothing really to put on them right now, so let's leave those. Just keep doing our favorite lighting trick here. Oh, that could have been it. That would have been. That would have been not fun. Alright, looks good. Okay, nice. So now as we make our way down, it's kind of oaky, but you know, it is kind of oaky. But you know, I think that essentially the entrance will be a later build. This you know, will be our first build. This little hallway here, or whatever. Just some very basic, just basic oak. I think it looks okay. But looking okay is fine for like one of the first builds. This build, yeah, it's. I need to see how all this looks like on the screen. And of course, a bunch of copper stuff next to each other. This just takes a long time to oxidize, but that's fine. It's kind of green and brown. You know, I was thinking maybe. No, I think this actually looks pretty good. So we're gonna keep it like that for now. Just a lot of oak into oak probably is not exactly my favorite thing though. So either these walls need to change from oak or no, we're just gonna leave it for now and worry about it. Alright, but now we're back to move. You know, got home, said I was gonna stream right now, but I'm actually really, I'm feeling a little tired, so I think I might just, yeah, make this just a really quick stream. I'm gonna be taking my dog out for a walk in about 2 hours, so, oh boy, push through. Oh, push through that. Use payload. Yeah, I think I can make it maybe not 20 minutes or so. At least get an hour in. And also, you know, just getting something started, you know, will mean that you keep the juices flowing, you know, from a creative standpoint. And does pale oak and dark oak look okay like that? No, it's horrible. Flowers back. Plus glass back. Okay. Okay, okay. I kind of like that. This is kind of like darkish color. Alright, we're already out of acacia. Awesome. I used to be like pretty particular about like making sure that like turns and things like that were like very graceful, you know, for like walking, but I'm a little bit more okay with kind of like sharp turns like this. Because as long as this thing is 3 wide, that's kind of like just enough space to like walk through. But I also do like having a little bit of like zigs and zags because it's, you know, just I think that this you know, you could just remove this pillar or whatever and you could just have like a little better line, but I think that, you know, just adds just a little bit more fun movement. Actually, let's do one more. this should be enough space. I mean, we're not gonna make. In one of my hardcore worlds, I did a pretty nice setup for my just enchantment room. But you kind of want your enchantment room to be in like a spot where you're gonna be either disenchanting, like storing all of your like books and things like that you want to just grindstone away, or in the smelter room where you can get a bunch of experience. So we're just essentially just making this enchantment room essentially just for these first like pre-end moments. Okay, so let's see how. Oh wow, this is like it's a legitimate torch. I do like the green, but I still think that like just upgrading them into lanterns is kind of the way to go. I did use soul sand torches in the outside area of my last hardcore base for like one little spot. I thought those looked pretty nice. So I do think that there is some room for them, but I think that they look better long distance than like when they're being viewed from a spot from far away rather than close up. But maybe that's just also because like on some level, torches feel so cheap, like in the sense that they're just like the first thing that most people get. Like torches feel unfinished. Like if your base is lit by torches, that means that like that's a work in progress area or something like that. Well, it's all grass now, so I think that looks decent. Middle might need to change. Yeah, this farm room is really brown, but brown and green. Maybe it would have been better to have something other than like sugarcane here. But I also think that the block palette getting a little bit more varied or whatever as we move through, or as we gather more resources and all that jazz. So we're gonna arrive in here. Let's make our enchantment table actually. We need diamonds for enchanters. We need one. Boom, boom. Alright, let's make a lot of books here. And now we also have access to bookshelves now. Those kind of look nice. A leather horse armor, that would be a huge waste. Enchantment table is 2 diamonds and obsidian. Oh, that's only 1 book. I thought it was 3. Oh yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, 3 leather, but 1 book. Alright, so we need to put away this oak stuff here. We are now off of oak for a little bit. Another diamond. Alright, got our first enchantment table here. Very cool. Now we need more paper. like I said, we're just gonna make it a little, just a little pop-in room here. Nothing too crazy going on. You know, it's funny because it's so easy to complete a build once you have like the center to some degree of it. So I think we want dark oak slabs here. You know. Should be good. The reason I like to slab the enchantment table. Take obsidian, put the enchantment table like that. And there, now it's kind of got like a, it's not above us, it's not below us, but it looks kind of nice. So let's put some of this cobblestone away, some of the dirt away. Okay, let's harvest this wood here, and then plant some acacia and plant some pale oak and some dark oak. And once this enchanting room is set up, then we can start. You know, we can move this bee nest, and then we can really start working on the entrance. And then once that entrance is done, we'll finally be able to get a snapshot of that, and we'll have a consistent thumbnail for the stream. I think I will also finally start making some content like TikToks and things like that, shorts. I'm not gonna be doing like long plays or anything like that because I just think that's so saturated with like. I think that if you're gonna do like a 20-minute Minecraft video, you have to like do 20-ish hours per video. Like that's like on a minimum to like stay in like the YouTube, stay in the meta. But I think that maybe with like just shorts, kind of just showing off like, oh, this is my process. You know, you can see you can check the stream to see that everything is legit or whatever. I think that something like this kind of style of Minecrafting or whatever can work in like 30-second chunks of content, but not in like long 20-minute, you know, because I think people want to like see big builds and things like that. That's kind of what they're mostly accustomed to, or like somebody like Etho who just has just been doing it for so long that there's just an audience. Like his world is like essentially almost as old as Minecraft itself. He has like the Let's Play is essentially, like the series itself is essentially as long as Minecraft, but he switched worlds after like 100 episodes. And honestly, even that could have been like, I think, like if he had just considered just moving like 1,000 blocks away, I think it would have probably been fine to have just stayed in that world too. But that's the kind of thing where it's like that decision is really tough to make, especially like when Minecraft just came out. You don't know how many, and a lot of the updates back then would like break world generation or break files and things like that. So you know. Nowadays, updates have to be essentially like consistent with. You have to be able to consistently bring your world into a into a new version or whatever. So that stuff has been, the compatibility issues and things like that have been fixed. Alright, so we harvested all that stuff. Wait, now we gotta plant some things. Spruce the oak away. Maybe we don't need the obsidian. Okay, let's get the pale oak here. Let's get the dark oak. Let's get the acacia. Sometimes I call it like cha-cha because of the Corrales. I believe he's Swedish, and I have actually lived in Sweden, so maybe that's why the kind of accenty way that he says it's kind of like reminds me of the Swinglish kind of ish, like the Swedish, like Swedish people speaking English, but like that Swedish accent, or I guess Swedish accent. That's the exact thing. All right, so we got that stuff going. I guess we can bone meal some of the acacia because we just need that right now. Yeah, feels so good to have, or like finally in like a bone meal era. That early moment there where we were essentially like having to replant all our wheat and things like that. You don't stay in that moment very often, but and so yeah, I actually did look up if, and I saw on the bug tracker that apparently this was a resolved bug where they were saying that uh, smoke effects or whatever coming through a block doesn't actually stop it. So I'm assuming that what people like to do is they like to put their campfire and then put a trap door under it or something like that, and they kind of still want the, so that the bees don't get hurt. And so I think that like, yeah, if there's maybe if we move the campfire down one block, it wouldn't actually work. But I think that this is like an intentional behavior that I didn't think about. It's either that or my client is hacked, but I don't think that that's the case. So sometimes you have to go with the anthropic principle or whatever. Yeah, you see, torches means that we've not built what we want here. So maybe we just do the same thing here. Grab some openings. My dog is just going kind of up and down. It's like she knows that today is one of the days that I go generally every other day, taking her out on a couple of mile hike, maybe 4.5 miles or something like that. And I think she just kind of knows, but it's like 80 degrees right now, so I don't want to take her out while it's like that hot. But you know, a little bit later in the day, the sun sets and like shades over the mountain, so it's a little bit cooler. All right, so we need oak leaves. We can put down here too. I would want to put acacia back here like this. Yeah, we'll just put oak planks up here. I mean, that's essentially the same thing. Can't even see what's back there, so now we'll just use the. Okay, we got our first pale oak. But yeah, so we've gotten a little started here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. I feel like I've got a little bit of a burst of energy now, but I do think taking a small little nap before going out would be better for my health. Not by like some significant margin, but you know, when you go hiking, there is always a chance that you know you trip or fall or something like that. Even just a you know, always got to be wary of such things. I don't think it looks terrible. It doesn't look amazing or anything either, but I think that, you know, once we do like a roof or something. Oh, hey, Mr. Cat. Alright, now we have room for oh, there's my water bottle contaminated by the cat. Wow. Lay, little monkey. Yeah, I think just three is too much. So yeah, now we'll make the walls out of like dark oak or something like that instead of a. extend this wall and not actually just have this part of the, because it looks kind of weird to like just have that, but maybe that's just because there's stone right afterwards. And then right here it can be like a, this is fine because we're coming around a turn here, so it actually looks nice if we change colors. Alright. So yeah, I think I'm gonna jump off, and then I'll be back on once I get back from my hike and everything like that. And we will finish the enchanting room and finish this, and then we will finally be able to work on the entrance, get the ceiling done, and we will actually have some complete. We'll finally have like a complete, other than this room, like a completed spot that we can walk around in.